In the previous lesson, we explained what is social engineering or the non-technical attack. And we also explained the different techniques used in social engineering that depend on spoofed email and phishing or fake website. In this lesson, we're going to give we're going to introduce one of the very powerful tools that is used for social engineering. It's called the social engineering toolkit. And it do everything. It does a fake email, fake website. It's a very, very powerful tools. And we're gonna start getting around these tools. And we're gonna, during this and the upcoming video, do some attacks using these tools. So I started my G-Track machine, and the tools can be found in one of those menus, except you're gonna need to keep circling around to find these tools or keep searching. But instead of keep searching, we can do that manually, which I prefer to do that. And this tool exists in most of the Linux distribution related to security. I mean, it exists in Backtrack, in Kali Linux, it's everywhere. And they even have a version under Windows. But I wouldn't recommend it because, you know, the one under Linux is much more powerful. So let's go through how to run the tools. So we're going to go to the root folder and go to pentest. And if you are not aware about those commands, please refer to the previous section or the section related to Linux tutorial where I show how to use Linux from scratch. So even if you don't have any kind of Linux experience, you can refer to this module and it will show you how to start using Linux. Then inside the pen test, we have another folder called exploit. And let's inside exploit, we have many folders, and this is the social engineering toolkit or set. So let's navigate inside. And you know, Linux is case sensitive, as I mentioned in a previous lesson. So if the folder name is in capital letter, you have to write it down the same way. And we're going to list inside, and you're going to see that there is some file inside. And usually the files that you can execute, those are the file with this specific color. Cool. So those are script. And how to execute a file of those? You just write down / and the file name, and it will start. And this is how the social engineering toolkit look like. It's a huge module. It cannot be covered in like 4 or 5 sessions. It needs a full course. But I'm going to go through some basics or some powerful attack from there. So as we mentioned in previous lessons, that any kind of those tools, you should always start by updating. So you need to have an internet connectivity, and you should start by updating the Metasploit framework and updating the social engineering toolkit, because sometimes there is new exploits, there is new encryption for malicious codes, there is new techniques, so you need to do that frequently. But since this may take some time, so I'm going to start the attack right away. So I'm going to just go through like some basics of those, and we're going to focus on one of those attack, which is website attack vectors. And let's go through that. Number 2. And you can see we have different kind of attack. We have the Java applet attack, we have the credential harvest attack, we have Metasploit attack. We have many attacks, but during this section we're going to take 2 measures attack, which is the credential harvest, and this is a very, very small attack, very hard to detect as well, which is just creating a fake web page. And then we're going to take the Java applet attack. So those will be the attacks, but I will encourage you to open the tools and keep trying different attack. And please contact me if you need more detail about one of those attack or more specific details. I can manage to share with you some extra information. So we'll stop here, and on next video we're going to start one of the attack.